bugs.
Welcome back to the Gardening with Joe and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. It's time for garden questions and answers. You got a question, send it on over to gardentalkradio@gmail.com, and we will get you an answer to it. If you can't, if you don't want to email, you can give us a call toll free, coast to coast, at 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469. You can go to our parent website, drop us an email there, check out things, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com. Let's see what we can get through to the top of the hour with questions and answers.
I saw an Amish video saying you can just keep the jar on the counter upside down. Apparently it seals as it cools. I'm going to try it.
Okay, we don't want to do that.
No. So they're just talking about after you pull
process,
the canner. Okay, yeah, that's not. You don't want to do that. You want to just put them right side up and then let them do their thing.
That's a big canning no.
There was this thought that once you pull your jars out of the canner, you would flip them upside down, and this used to be an old practice because they would seal these jars with this paraffin wax, but that's not necessary anymore because these jars are I guess I call them self-sealing now. So that's not necessary, and it's not safe either. You want to allow it to have a natural seal.
All right, thoughts on what to use for mulch in my 3-foot wide by 6-foot long raised bed? I was thinking coco coir or straw.
I would say either of those. I think straw would be cheaper.
Straw would be cheaper. Yeah. Coco coir could potentially have the issue of being a sponge and just holding moisture and causing some fungal issues and mold and mildew to develop. Just chemical-free, seed-free, dry grass clippings. It's a free resource. Most of us have a lawn that we can at least mow and let dry and rake up and take over. It's only 18 square feet. Put about 3 or 4 inches of mulch on that straw or that grass clippings, and I think you're going to be good if you had shredded leaves. But I would think you always look for what do you have available instead of, okay, do I need to go, what can I buy in order to fulfill the need I'm needing?
All right. So this question is, why are my strawberry leaves brown around the edges? So this can be from various things. One could be inadequate watering, so like either overwatering or underwatering. It could also be nutrient deficiencies. So depending on, maybe your soil needs something, you could get a soil test from
Soil Savvy or soilsavvy.com or growsmart.com.
Or it can be from a fungal disease or pests. So you kind of have to do some more looking into it, maybe looking at the bottom of the leaves to see if it's like some sort of pest that could be sucking the life out of those leaves. Typically, there's not too many pests that bother strawberry leaves, but you never know. Fungal disease, then you would have to, if you send us a question, sometimes it's helpful if you send a picture. We might be able to get you a better answer.
All right. I have really experienced
Extensive.
I have really extensive powdery mildew on my zucchini and pumpkin plants last year. Is there anything I should do before planting them to prevent it this year, or is it one of those things, nip it in the bud sooner as I see it starting to develop?
Sure. So powdery mildew is caused by a group of fungus, specifically of the Iraceae family. It thrives in warm, dry conditions with high humidity. So that's why you often see it near close to the end of summer, because the days are getting a little bit drier, but there's still some high humidity. It can spread through wind-borne spores. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you space the plants apart properly. You don't want to crowd the plants. If you see that only one has powdery mildew and it's not looking too good, you could always pull it out before it spreads. Otherwise, there's different solutions like using vinegar and water, milk and water, baking powder and water.
If you see one leaf that is starting to get a mildew, powdery mildew, if you've not experienced, or you may have and you don't know, it's basically you take your finger and you wipe across. It's like somebody's covered your leaves with baby powder. And it is actually preventing the plant from absorbing sunlight, and it's basically suffocating itself. So and it will spread from leaf to leaf. So if you see one leaf affected, you can go ahead and cut that leaf out. Be careful as you remove it from the garden, because if you're just flopping it all around, dragging it through, those spores are going to detach and go on other plants. Now, people say you can put it in your compost pile. If you're hot composting, that will kill the spores. I put it right in the trash, make it disappear. The fewer objects of fungal introduced or potentially having in the garden, the better off my garden is. Now, this was about zucchini and watermelon or pumpkin. This can be on watermelon. This can be on butternut squash, spaghetti squash, acorn squash. The squash family, even cucumbers, are susceptible much more to powdery mildew than other plants. So keep that spacing. I know it's tempting to go, okay, well, I can squeeze 7 plants in this row, when if you space them properly, 5 is really what you need to put in there. And if you have 5 healthy, productive plants, they're going to do much better for you than having 7 plants and 4 of them are struggling to survive because they've got powdery mildew. Now, if I think grapes get powdery mildew as well.
Yeah, but some of this stuff, I mean, like cucumbers, grapes, etc., you can't necessarily prevent like spacing them out, because you can space these plants properly, but cucumbers can get, kind of out of control with their leaves. Not saying that it's easier with squash or whatever, but it seems like cucumbers get kind of bunchy and spaced, less space, easier than squash.
Also, if you're going to water these plants, go with a drip irrigation if possible, or water at the base. And mulch, as we talked about at the later portions of the summer, the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer, there's more dampness in the air. Keeping that moisture that you can potentially put on the leaves that can potentially develop the powdery mildew, avoid doing that. Avoid getting the leaves wet late in the afternoon, because then they won't be able to have time to dry, and this is the introduction of powdery mildew. And if we can avoid causing problems that may be, that may not happen naturally, we want to avoid causing problems with our plants.